Hey, crew, and welcome back. Today on the podcast, I have Amazon and Walmart seller Amanda Ballard. Now, Amanda's version of how she sells on Amazon is a little different, and I've actually never even heard of it before talking to her. So I'm excited for you to hear more about it from Amanda. Hi, and welcome to Your Selling Podcast. I'm your host, Nikki Kirk, aka Your Selling Guide. In 2017, I quit a steady corporate desk job to travel the US in an RV. Along the way, I started selling on Amazon, grew multiple successful businesses, and wound up back to my roots as a small town girl. Today, I'm still doing what I love, selling on Amazon and helping other sellers start and grow their own online businesses. Each week on Your Selling Podcast, we will cover different aspects of selling online and highlight other sellers just like you and I. From part-time sellers creating extra income on the side to full-time sellers growing million-dollar businesses. Think of this as a sit-down with your Amazon besties where we can learn and grow our online businesses together. Welcome to Your Selling Podcast. So welcome, Amanda, to the podcast.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I'm really excited to have you because, I met you in person just 2 weeks ago at the Dallas meetup, and that was a lot of fun. But I'm really excited because we actually took a car to the airport together and we're just chatting more. And I am so fascinated by your journey and all the different places you sell. So how did you first get into selling online to begin with?
I'm like, what am I gonna do for the rest of from 2:30 on for the rest of the day? I don't have kids. It's just me and my husband. I need a hobby. And so I just stumbled upon a video on TikTok and sourcing books. So I'm like, I'll just give it a go. And I actually went and pulled out 20 books from the first thrift store. So then I was hooked after that.
We
Just
kind of chatted about it. You were telling me about, because I have never done books like this, but you were telling me about when you do the library sales. It's very intense.
It's so intense, I would go up to Seattle, and, of course, there's a lot of other booksellers there, and I would take my mom with me, and they would sandwich us in. So they would be on either side of us and then, move us, bump us into each other, so then we'd only have, 50 books in front of us to scan, and they were just so aggressive. It's not for me.
So funny.
So aggressive, and, they would, take a huge stack of books and then go to their own corner and then, bring them back, it was so weird, and that's not what I would wanna do, so
So you don't really do that anymore.
I don't do books anymore. I did books for about 3 or 4 months, but I have a bad back, and books are not the lightest, and so I ended up quitting books, and so which kinda breaks my heart, but, I had to move on.
Are you selling just on Amazon right now, or where's everywhere you're selling?
So I am selling on Amazon and I'm also selling on Walmart. So,
Oh, nice.
yeah, I love it. I love both platforms for different reasons. So, yeah.
How long have you been selling on Amazon, and then when did you get into Walmart?
I've been selling on Amazon since for about a year and a half now, coming up 2 years in August. And then Walmart is about 2 months, 3 months. Yeah, about
Oh,
3
nice.
months now. Yeah, it's crazy. It's been fast. So
Your model, so when you get out of books, your model of selling on Amazon is a little different. You actually, I'll just let you say it.
Yeah, I do eBay to Amazon. So I buy all of my items off of eBay and I resell them on Amazon. It's
How
simple.
how does it work? Like, you're just looking through what's on eBay, or do you have a specific kind of item you look for?
Yeah, so I have a software. I use this software. It's called FlipMine. It's a website that pulls the information from eBay and from Amazon, and it it's a lot like tactical arbitrage where it pulls the information. So it's just like that. It pulls it all from eBay and all from Amazon, and you kind of go through that website and find your deals there. Yeah.
How many items are you, able to find that way in a week? Let's say a week.
A week, I would say about 25 to 30 items.
Okay.
Um, I have a budget about $500 a day that I like to spend on Amazon, which I can easily do. So it just really depends on the price of the item, so yeah.
And now you're getting more into retail arbitrage and online arbitrage?
Yeah, so I have been trying to make a switch to traditional online arbitrage, but I'm finding it so difficult. Just because I've gotten a lot of canceled orders because they're like, "Hey, I think you're an Amazon seller. We're gonna cancel your order." So they cancel it. Um, and with online arbitrage, a lot of people do like a $5 profit with like a 20 to 25% ROI. But when I'm doing my eBay to Amazon, I have a strict $10 profit with a 40% ROI, and I get that no problem. And so it's a lot harder to get that in OA. Um, Granted, I'm only buying one item off eBay for that $10 profit versus OA, I can buy like 10, 15 items. So it just kind of balances out, but it's, I feel like, harder to find, in my opinion.
So do you still have your other job that you do, like, in the mornings, basically, or did you leave that?
I do. Yeah. No, I work full time. I'm a medical coder. So I work for an orthopedic clinic in Colorado and New Jersey. So I'm remote. I work from home. And so I have the most flexible job. Like, I just have to get my 8 hours in anytime I want. Like, I could work today if I wanted to just to make up hours. Um, so my job is so flexible with the hours, which is probably why I'm so successful at making Amazon work?
Yeah, that's cool. That's nice. Yeah, anytime you have, like, a full-time job, even if your, like, goal is to not, like, some people don't like their job, and so their goal is to get out of that. I always say, "I wish I would have known about Amazon while I had my desk job because I could have been doing it and building it versus didn't know about it, quit my job, and was like, 'I'll figure something out,' and then stumbled upon Amazon."
Right, exactly.
So, how has been selling on Walmart? Like, how do you figure out what you wanna sell or if it's even gonna sell? Because I hear that is a little bit wild.
It's crazy. It's like the wild, wild west over there. Um I so there's no Keepa, there's no seller amp, there's nothing. It's just kind of like figuring it out and hopefully it works. So what I go by is by reviews of the product. So you can scan a barcode in the Walmart app and it'll tell you what the price is and the reviews and the stars. Like, usually I go for at least 2 reviews at 5 stars. Because they say like every one review is 100 products sold. And so I'm assuming if there's just one review, it's selling. That's the only metric we all go by. And I'm in a Discord community, where that's what they're all doing. That's what we have to go by because there's nothing really to tell us one way or the other.
Yeah, there's, like that's what I've heard, there's no software, so you're just kind of like so let's say you go to Walmart. Do you do Walmart to Walmart?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
That's just
Yeah.
wild. Okay, so you go to Walmart and you're like, are you scanning for Amazon and also Walmart, or how do you go about doing it?
I personally don't. With my Amazon, it's strictly eBay or online arbitrage to Amazon, because I do have a prep center, and so, like, they handle all my stuff. But for Walmart, I do only retail arbitrage, just because I don't wanna mix business models right now, and so that's why. Because it's too
Okay.
confusing if I mix the models for me. For me, that's just what for me works?
So in Walmart, are you just going like I would just go to toys because that's what I sell mostly from
Yeah.
Walmart, but are you just, like, picking an aisle or do you have something to go off of?
I kinda look at the Walmart app and see what's on sale, but I always hit the clearance first, and then I do like the toys because the toys sell amazing on Walmart, um, and I just kinda go through the aisles and see any rollbacks. Um, I know most people would scan every single item, but I just don't. I just don't have the time, and so, I'll go and look for the rollbacks, I'll scan it, and then I'll go to the section where there's a sale or something like that. Um, a really good product that I look for is it's online or it's available in the store, but it's not available for shipping. Um, because, like, I'm on the West Coast, and so what if I have this product that's not in the Walmart on the East Coast? So somebody on the East Coast might want this product. So that's good for me is to then buy it, list it, and ship it to whoever. So, that's what I also look for is out of stock for shipping. So, yeah.
Okay, so how did you find your prep center and, like, when did you get it right away or have you got it more recently?
I did my own prep for about a year. And so my mentor Steve Rakin, he's also on the YouTube space. Um, he's a really good friend of mine, and he did the prep center, and so he just was like, "Get your prep center. This is the only one who will do eBay to Amazon." A lot of prep centers won't do eBay items because you have to kind of look at them differently than like traditional OA. Um, and so I just kind of got my foot in the door and just kind of was handed it to me, which is I'm super grateful for because I love my prep center. Um, and because they do amazing. Because yeah, that's I was kind of like, here's a prep center, do it, there you go, versus me
Is
trying to
it
go out and find one.
is it in Washington?
It's not. It's actually
Okay,
in Ohio, which is also a tax. I have to pay taxes,
okay.
but, because I'm tax exempt on eBay, I don't pay taxes. So but for my traditional OA stuff, I have to pay the taxes if I send it to my prep center, but for eBay, I don't have to pay the taxes, which is nice.
I
So,
did not know you could do tax exempt on eBay, so that another tip, had no idea. But I don't
yeah,
do I mean, I sell some stuff on eBay, but that's it, like, I don't do a lot on eBay.
yeah, and, like, that's what I also love about eBay is, like, I don't have to go to, like, Macy's and try and get tax exempt there. I just do eBay, and I did it one time, and now I'm tax free for eBay, which
It's
is
just
so
something
nice.
you sign up on, like, their website and give them the
Yeah, you
form?
have to fill out this, like, this form because I was tax free in Washington, but because I changed to Ohio, um, I had to just fill out this quick form, and then I was tax free in Ohio as well.
Oh, that's cool. When you got your prep center, were you kind of, like, was handing over control easy or was it kinda hard?
So hard, so hard. I like control. I like to be able to control the things I can control and, like, and I would get probably 20 to 30 packages a day on my front doorstep. And so, like, I was afraid I was gonna miss that, and, but then again, like, my mail person also loved delivering to me because they have a quota, and so they have to deliver, let's say, 100 packages a day, but if they're delivering 30 to me, that's, like, less work for them. So he was kinda sad that I moved to a prep center, but it was so hard to lose that control because I like to see my products, I like to make sure they're sending me the right thing or, the condition is the way they say it is, so
Oh,
but
yeah, how do you handle that? Is your prep center, like that's probably why the most prep centers don't, right, do eBay is
right.
because you have to
Yeah, the condition. They're pretty good about it. And I also have I look at the pictures on eBay to make sure like that's in good condition. I tend to not do stock photos of items just because I don't know what it looks like. Like I don't know if there's a tear or if it's an open box or what it is. But my prep center is really good at deciding like, I had a DVD had a little tear on the corner, and they called it as used. So, I would have still called it new just because it had a little tear on it, but so they're good at conditioning it too, so,
Oh, that's
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, they're
So
really good.
how many hours or days a week do you work on your Amazon and Walmart business?
Um, just because I'm obsessed, it's still, like, 30 hours.
That's awesome, yeah.
'Cause I love it, and so I just do it, I love going out and doing retail arbitrage, I do more on my Walmart platform than I do on my Amazon, but that's because my Amazon, I have a VA who does my purchasing, who does my sourcing, and then, my prep center does my prepping, so I definitely spend more time on Walmart than Amazon.
So you have a VA, which is like that's a huge accomplishment. How was the hiring process? Like how's it been going?
It was really good. So I actually hired 2 virtual assistants, in June last year. Um, I hired
Sure, I
two,
understand.
I hired two because um, I wasn't sure between the both of them. Like they were both really good candidates, and I'm like, might as well get two now and figure it out. Um, I'm glad I got two because the one that I wanted to initially hire, I ended up having to let her go 3 months later. Um, because she wasn't sourcing correctly. She had like I could do her job, what she was doing in like an hour, and she was taking 8 hours. And she had another job that I think that she was double dipping in. Um, I think she was another sourcer for another Amazon seller that she was going to double dip for both of us. But because I'm eBay to Amazon, she couldn't do that. So I ended up having to let her go. It was a good experience, but hiring them was a lot of work. I'm not gonna lie.
Were they in the
So
Philippines?
they are from the Philippines. Yeah, I hired them on onlinejobs.ph. Um, and I probably spent the month of June, I think was like the worst month ever for me because I did my day job from, 5 to 2:30, and then I went to work with them and training them from like 3 till 11 every day for the whole month of June. It was a nightmare. Um, but because I put in so much work, now I just let the one VA just do her thing and I don't have to worry about it. Um, so it was a lot of work up front, but it definitely paid off in the end.
Hey crew, is your Amazon business set up for success this year? Do you know how much profit you really made on the item you just sold? Or what about this? Do you notice when the Amazon FBA fees change on a product in your inventory? These are just some of the reasons why I love Sellerboard and why I've partnered with them on the You're Selling podcast. I have been using Sellerboard for 4 years now, and I absolutely do not know how I would run my business without it. I love how simple Sellerboard is to use. The desktop version is set up so easy. As soon as you connect your Amazon account, all of your products from the past, anything you've ever sold is gonna flow into that. And the way I love it and use it the most is actually when I'm outsourcing. I have Sellerboard app right on my phone and I can visually see the images of the products I'm selling today, yesterday, last month, last year, whatever I want to look at, I can see it in real time right on my Sellerboard app. Sellerboard is an affordable must-have tool for all Amazon sellers. And as listeners of this podcast, they have given you 2 months free to try it out for yourself. There's absolutely no credit card required to sign up, and you can cancel at any time. Head to yoursellingguide.com/sellerboardprofit to set up your free trial today. Again, yoursellingguide.com/sellerboardprofit to get your 2-month free trial today. So she's doing all of your sourcing. How does it work? Is she like running the stuff by you and you end up buying it, or is she the one buying it for you?
So when she's doing eBay to Amazon, yeah, she purchases for me. She does everything for me. We have built this relationship and rapport that I trust her, and I have so many checks and balances that she couldn't just like buy stuff without me knowing. So I have this spreadsheet that automatically pulls from eBay all of my purchases from eBay, um, that tracks everything she's purchasing. And so I just go through and we'll go through them together usually at the end of the week of like what her best buy was, what the worst buy was. Um, but no, she does all the purchasing for me because I trust her. She only has like the last four digits of my credit card. And so it's not like she can get my bank account. So
How was the process? Had you hired anyone before, like in any corporate jobs or anything? Because I know I had
no.
never when I had to hire people, and it's interesting. It's like a
Yeah.
learning. So how was the process like when you would hire them, but then also when you had to let someone go? Like, how did you deal with that?
It was rough because, like, I wanted it to work out so bad, because I liked them both, but, the one that wasn't doing very well, um, we'd had talked about it for a while, like, "Hey, you're not doing like meeting my expectations. What can I do? How can I help you? Um, and because she wasn't meeting them, the other one kind of dumbed herself down. Um, and so that they could look like they were doing the same, which I know that they weren't because at the beginning, um, it just was so different. I think the final straw was I had asked them to source, um, for 2 hours and have it recorded. And in that 2 hours, they were able to do what they do in a full 8 hours. And so that to me was like, "You can do it, you're just choosing not to." Um, and during the 2 hours, I noticed she would stop the clock and then come back. So I'm like, "What is she doing when she's stopping the clock?" You know? And so, that was, like, the final straw for me. I'm like, "You're doing something kinda fishy." And she's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "So I'll give you 3 strikes, you know, today's your first strike. You gotta do better. Like, the business has to run. The business has to, you know, grow and spend money, and we have to keep going." And she's like, "Okay, I will." And then the next day was the exact same response, the same level of horribleness. So I just let her go. I'm like, "Okay, we're not doing the 3 strikes. Like, you're not even trying to be better." So, it was tough for me because I didn't want to, let her go because it's someone's livelihood, you know? But at the end of the day, it was the business, and I had to move on from her, which sucked,
That's
but
one thing I've learned over the last couple years, in a couple different businesses is it's just like I'm the same way. I'm a very easygoing boss. Just get your job done. I don't really care how and when you do it. And
yeah,
so, it's hard when you want to work it out and you want to give them a chance. But I finally have learned like if it's a struggle in the beginning, it's not going to get better and it's easy to just like cut and run. But it
yeah,
is so hard.
100%. And it's like, I've also learned to not ignore the red flags in the beginning, like you just said. Like, don't ignore those because 'cause they're there for a reason, you know? So, it's a learning
Yeah.
experience, and I just chalk it up to, like, Amazon tuition, like, you gotta pay these, like, things to be on Amazon.
Yeah, because it's I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, you're running a business, and if then everyone in your business is not helping your business make money or some other valuable thing at the end of the day, yeah, you have to just make the call and make the move. So how did you go about deciding to hire a VA in the beginning? Because it sounds like it was kind of early on in your journey, right?
Yeah, it was. I've been doing eBay and Amazon for 6 months at that point. So I've been in the business for, like, 8 months, or 9 months, I guess. I just was tired of, like, not spending time with, like, my husband and my family, um, and just because I would work my day job, and then I'd go and work and source on my computer in my office and work until 10 o'clock. And then it's like, "Well, what about dinner?" You know, it's just I was having so much time in it, and I just was ready to give up my I have more time, I guess.
Yeah.
So I
Smart.
just
Yeah, you're like
yeah.
buying your time back by hiring.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. Um, let me think here. Okay, I'm gonna go back to I'm looking at my questions, sorry.
That's okay.
So, going back to the beginning, did you have, like, a certain amount of money that you were gonna set aside to start this business, or did you just kinda like, I'm gonna throw whatever at it?"
No, I had $500 to spend. That's what my husband allowed me to get. He's like, "Here's $500 and you don't get any more." And
That's like that's
so
how that's how much I started with also.
oh, good. Yeah, because yeah, he just was like, "You're gonna make it or break it," and I'm happy that we don't use our personal funds for my business, which is kinda nice, but it's also kinda sad that sometimes, like, my business has more money than my personal. So, like,
Hey,
I'm
that's a
doing
good
something
problem.
wrong here.
Oh, that's
Oh,
funny.
well.
At what point did you start to pull out a profit, or have you yet?
I haven't. No, just because, I still have my day job, and my husband is in school full time, but he also gets, school money, like tuition and financial aid and stuff. So we don't necessarily need it at this point, and so I just keep rolling it back into the business just for now until I need it. So, yeah.
What's one of the, like, dreams or goals you have for your business? It can be, like, big or it can be, like, end of the year, I'd like to do whatever.
I definitely wanna hit 250,000 at the end of this month, or sorry, at the end of the year, which I'm on track to do so far, um, which seems overwhelming, but I know I can do it, and then the end goal is to be able to quit my job and do this full time, because I love it. I'd love to coach more, I'd love to build more content, um, and even build, like, my own little community. So, I don't know, that's just kind of what I love, and I love to travel. So, I'd love to just get up and go do whatever and wherever. So, that's the
I
goal.
was talking to, Eliana no, sorry. I was talking to Elena, and that podcast would have already come out a couple episodes prior to this by now, but she does travel hacks with her credit card, so she's using all her miles that she's buying, and I was like, "I do that, but I need to do it better." Like, I could feel like I could do it better. So, my goal I love to travel also, so I'm like I don't know if you're doing travel, like the credit cards with the points and all that kinda stuff.
I am a little bit. I was so excited that the meetup in Dallas was all by points. I was like, "That's my first trip ever that I paid with just points." So, like, now that I've gotten a little taste of it, I'm like, "This is where it's at." Like, I wanna live off of, like, cashbacks and miles and points and stuff, like, that's what I wanted. That's my goal, is to live off those points, and yeah. Yes, please.
The first time I used my points for, like, a first class ticket for 2 people, and I was like, "Oh, this is nice."
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
First
like
class, that's where it's at. That's when you know you've made it.
the one regret I have is that I did start flying first class, and then I was like, "Okay, now it's really hard." Like, even the trip to Dallas, because it's a 45-minute flight, I was like, "Okay, we don't need to be in first class for this." But it's hard being back there now, so
Yeah.
I'm like, "I wish I never would have done it."
Yeah. I know. It's like, why did I start first class, but now it's like only first I can't afford it just yet. I'm fine with just economy, like, in the back, like, I'm okay with that, but god, first class is like, that's where it's at, like, I'll take that, please.
Yeah, that's the goal. The other thing I've, done because we have a credit card for the business that has it's a Marriott card, which is why at most of the meetups, I'm usually staying at a Marriott. But I was able last 2 years 2 summers ago, we were still living in the RV on the land, and it was summertime, and it was, like, 100 degrees, which, if you don't know, an RV can only ever get, like, 15 degrees cooler than it is outside. So and we're running on solar, which is not as efficient in the AC. So, basically, it was hot, I broke my leg, and I used all of my Marriott points to get, like, 2 weeks in a hotel in Tulsa, and it was magical, and I was like, "Yes, this is what I need the points for."
That's amazing. That's
But
so awesome. I
yeah,
love
it
that.
was very nice.
That was yeah, that's yes, I'll take that too.
Yeah. Yeah, so now
That
you're
is
hooked,
so
and now you have to
cool.
do more of the points.
And I love that it's points, like, it's not money coming out of your account, like, that's even better, like, it's your business. You kinda made money, you made money on those points, and now you can use them to just for whatever. That's so cool. That is so
Yeah.
cool.
So, what is one of the things like, what happens when you are just frustrated with your business? Like, what do you do? Like, to relax or what happens?
Honestly, I go sit in our hot tub. Because in our hot tub, we have this, like, unspoken rule of, like, no phones, obviously, because we don't want it to get wet or whatever, but I just go sit in my hot tub either by myself or with my husband and either just sit and just not think and relax or just talk it over with my husband, um, but that's what I do, I just sit in our hot tub, like, just that's what works for me, just like taking a moment to breathe, and because I overthink everything, it's so, I've been trying to make this transition to OA and I am struggling. And so, um, there's been a lot of times I just sit in this hot tub for a while, just trying to figure out and take a breath and just ignore the noise sometimes. You just kinda have to just unplug and just unwind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because Amazon has been throwing just everything at us this year, and I'm like, we're only like 4 months into the year, and it's already just everything is just so crazy that, yeah, you have to, like, step away and, like, just come back when you're not as frustrated. Because yeah, it can be
What do
really
you
easy to go
do?
towards the negative. I literally just well, it's nice now that I have my office over here, so I will just put my laptop away, close the door, and then go, like, read. I like to read. I read a lot. I'll sit outside. Um, but yeah, taking that break of some sort, whether it's for the day or for a couple hours, I will get into where I just keep, like I'm like an all or nothing person, and so I will just keep
Yeah.
working, kinda like how you were saying you work all day, and then I'll be like whereas if I woulda took maybe an hour lunch break to read or sit outside or do something else, probably I would have been perfectly fine going through the but instead I just keep going and getting frustrated and end up getting burnt out.
Yeah. Yeah, 'cause yeah, that's reading's good too. That's a good one. I like reading as well, so that's a good one too.
Yeah, I know you would think I would wanna do books, because I love to read. Actually, have all these shelves now I could fill up with books while I'm selling them, but I just can't get into books.
I get it, like, I get it. Books are either you love it or you hate it, you know? Yeah, I get it. Just 'cause you I mean, that's just 'cause you love something doesn't mean you wanna sell it, you know?
Right?
My husband would never wanna sell Dungeons& and Dragons stuff 'cause 1, he'd wanna keep it all, and 2, it just I don't know. I don't
That's funny, but he could tell you which ones are the good ones, I'm
He
sure.
does, yeah. He does have a book that we sell pretty consistently because he knows people buy it all the time because he buys it all the time.
Oh, that's cool, yeah, and any of the
So,
insider tips are great to have.
yeah.
What is one of your, like, favorite tools or softwares that you use in your business?
I do like Flip Mine a lot. That's the one sourcing website that I use. Um, what other I do like SellerAmp a lot. I know there's other ones like it, but I just like SellerAmp the best out of, like is it Rev ROI and stuff like that, but I'm a SellerAmp girly, so
Nice. What is your one tip? Normally, I'd say your tip for someone who wants to start selling on Amazon, but I'm gonna switch and go, what would be your one tip for someone who wants to start selling on Walmart?
Ooh, on Walmart, I would say, um, just apply and if you get in, then just start scanning because there's product everywhere. Um, Walmart is so no one knows about it yet. No one's talking about it yet. Everyone is just figuring it out. And so if you can get in where we're all trying to figure it out, I think it's really lucrative right now. Um, and it's all testing. So just test it out, test everything. You just gotta try. I think you just gotta try because then you'll love it, you know? There's so many I like, a lot of these ladies that I am friends with, they're actually liquidating their Amazon and putting it for more money on Walmart. Um, so which is crazy to me that it's selling for more money and more often on Walmart than it is on Amazon.
Yeah,
So
when I had Sarah Ray on the podcast and she was talking about, just, like, the sheer amount like, you can there's less competition on Walmart, there's less sellers, and things are selling for more profit, and so right after that podcast, I signed up for Walmart, like, I've been denied twice now. So, I will try again later, but I was just like I've been telling everyone, I'm like, "You gotta get on Walmart," like, you I would have killed to have known about Amazon and been on Amazon in the beginning, so you really wanna get in there in the beginning, so, yeah, I echo that, like, just get on there and figure it out,
yeah,
and I know offline, and I'll say it here online, I've been encouraging you to do some Walmart content because you also
yes.
have a YouTube channel and you're on active on Instagram and Facebook, so where can people find you and ask for some Walmart content?
Walmart content is coming from YouTube. Flipping with Amanda is my handle. And I don't post a lot on Instagram or Facebook. I'm active on there, but I don't post content because I don't want to annoy my real friends and family. So, but I am gonna start making Walmart content because I do think it needs to be talked about. But if anybody is really serious about it, there's a Discord that's an amazing Discord. And we can link it if you want. It's an amazing Sarah Ray is in this Discord. And everybody just helps everybody. It's all about community, I feel like. You have to know people. You just can't do this either Amazon or Walmart by yourself. You have to have other people with you to kind of talk out those frustrations or yeah, so that's where I get up. That's so that YouTube is a great place to follow me.
Awesome. So I'll link all of those. But yeah, I actually highly recommend just getting in. There's no way I would have grown my business without talking to other sellers because you don't know what you don't know. And so it's not even that you have to necessarily be active asking questions, although you can in any of the communities you're in, but just reading through and seeing what other people are asking, seeing what the answers are, you find out so much information just by being in any community. So I will for sure link that Discord group for anyone who wants to join it in the show notes.
Perfect. Yay.
Thank you so much for being on the podcast. This was awesome. And I am just excited to continue to watch your journey, both as creating content and selling on all the platforms. So thank you for sharing.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for tuning in. If you would like to be on the podcast, I would love to chat with you. You can reach out to me at podcast@yoursellingguide.com or hit me up at YourSellingGuide on Instagram. As I mentioned, the Discord and all of Amanda's social links will be linked below, so you can go pop over, say hi, and ask her for more Walmart content or ask any questions that you have about the eBay to Amazon flipping, because I just find it so crazy and fascinating. If you'd like to come to the Philadelphia meetup, it's happening June 8th, so don't miss out. I met Amanda at the Dallas meetup, and I think she's coming to the Philly one also, so I'm excited to see her again, and I would love to meet you. So until next week, happy sourcing.